Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. The first big batch of informations regarding Act 4 has finally been unveiled. With the lift on the news NDA came a lot of videos and written articles covering most of the hot topics. Areas, monsters, skills, bosses and much more have been given a quick look into, and there's been so much of it that there is actually no point in me repeating it again. There are two things, however, that I want to talk about. First, Path of Exile The Awakening will be released on the 20th of April, but there's a catch. It will be running a 6 to 8 weeks of closed beta period, where GGG will gradually allow more players in as time goes by, and to sign up for it you have to register through the specific link they provided, which I'll also link in the description below. No more is known about this closed beta period for now, but I'm sure more information will be released soon enough. The second thing I want to talk about is absolutely great, yet not totally done, and as such not included directly in the first batch of information. I'm going to quote GGG's lead programmer Jonathan. With the expansion we are adding a deterministic lockstep mode to Path of Exile that will have no desync. Bear in mind that this means that when you click you will have to wait for whatever your ping time is before you start to move or do a skill. This works the same way as you would see in a strategy game like StarCraft or a MOBA like Dota. Jonathan hopes to be able to finish this system in time for the Awakening closed beta or a week after. If this system actually works as it's supposed to, I really believe it could change this game a lot, making it so much better and solving possibly its biggest problem so far. This week, instead of continuing with the skill development, GGG's Nick came at us with a look at how much information they give to players on items and skills, why sometimes they hold information back, and how these decisions may affect an upcoming unique in the expansions containing Act 4. Unique items in Path of Exile often have particular mods that you can't find elsewhere. This leads to a question: how many information should be given to the players? While depth can be considered the strongest point of the game, complexity is definitely one of the biggest enemies. As such, there is a lot of internal talk within GGG when designing special items like the Whispering Eyes and upcoming unique stuff. This stuff scales on intelligence and grants a special skill called Ice Storm, also partially scaling on intelligence. The amount of information shown here has to be interesting enough for a new player to not throw the stuff away, but also specific enough for veteran players to understand what's going on with it. Ice Storm will only be available through this stuff for now, but the fact that it says grants level 1 Ice Storm makes me think it will eventually be released as a skill gem. Needless to say, the wording is very important, and that's why GGG has always tried to be as clear as possible with it. This week's hideout of the week is a battle-scarred hideout that has been transformed into a luxurious grand hotel. Thanks to a massive usage of red carpets and furniture, the author was able to recreate a nice hotel feeling, ranging from the lobby to a room with a sea view and having a secret area hidden behind libraries. Overall very different from previously featured hideout, and I gotta say, a nice change of pace for once. Despite the busy week, GGG still found some time to spare for this week's community showcase, which highlights the latest State of Exile podcast, a RIP video from a player who was only 14% away from completing the last challenge in the hardcore 1-month league, a prayer to RNGesus by the notorious streamer Willy Wonka in hopes for a lucky Valorb, and more cool fun hearts. Do note that the podcast was recorded before we had access to most Act 4 informations, but is still worthwhile to listen to. Another great week of neat stuff made by the community. This wraps it up for this week's episode. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all, I've been your host Giorgio, and I'll see you guys the next time.